Hello and welcome back to another episode of United by Red Sports. We might have missed last week because I might have been sat in the sun because the UK decided it was having its one weekend of summer.
I'm here and you don't turn up.
You get sun 343 days a year. We get it 343 minutes. So I used those minutes to sit in the sun for a while.
So you're blaming the weather?
Yes. It's always a good thing to do in the UK, blame the weather. Or the politicians. Usually one of the other is at fault. But anyway, as you can see, I'm nicely supporting my Red Barnsley kit this week after we finally ended the season yesterday, deciding that we can play football.
Was it your last game?
Yeah, so League One and Championship ended yesterday. We were good to January. January to March decided that football wasn't really for us, didn't have the interest anymore, but now decided that we can right at the end.
Well, we're good to January. Might have been shy since September. All of them.
Yeah. So at least, we're not going to finish much better than you. I think we ended up 11th, maybe 12th. So it's kind of neither here nor there at this point.
I mean, Jamie Carragher pointed out the other day that Man United could still finish 17th.
Yes, you can. But Tottenham are worse than you, so they probably will.
It's quite interesting, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's going to be the worst season you've ever had and could yet still qualify for the Champions League, which is utterly ridiculous.
Very Man United, isn't it?
It is very, very Man United, yeah. And could still end up having a more successful season than Arsenal. So, yeah,
that's a very good place to start. Because we've done quite a lot of conjecture over Arteta. So I actually checked the numbers. So this is his 5th full season. He did half a season in 2019, in which he won a trophy with the other guy's team, as they call it. So he's had 5 years after this one, unless they win the Champions League, which looks very unlikely. In that time, Liverpool, Newcastle, City, Man U, Chelsea, and there was one other, and I've forgot them. I've won West Ham, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Man United, and Newcastle all won trophies. Arsenal won nothing.
Yep.
And it gets worse for him because this season, Liverpool have won the league. Newcastle have won the League Cup. City pretty much looking favourites for the FA Cup. Chelsea will win the Calcutta Cup or whatever fucking hell that thing's called. And pretty much Man United or Tottenham are going to win the Europa League.
Yes.
So the only team not to win a trophy will be Arsenal again. So having won nothing in 5 years, every other team in the Premier League that's got a name for winning something will have won a trophy, and they won't.
And they'll have done, most of them have done it this season.
He's still lauded as the answer to. I mean, if he's the answer, I just don't know what the question was. Yeah.
How to finish second?
Well, I watched Arsenal play yesterday. They looked pretty average. Bournemouth?
Yes, lost 2-1.
And I was looking at Arsenal's team, and I think I've said this before, but they haven't got the best player in any position, have they, in the league?
Maybe one, Saka.
That was possibly the only one I came up against, but I did have an answer to that. And Salah plays on the right wing, so you're picking Salah over Saka, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, you are at this point.
That was the only one I'd got, Saka, and then I thought Salah, and so I went through the team, and they don't have the best player in any position. Declan Rice is very good, but he isn't as good as Rodri. Saka is very, very good, but he isn't as good as Salah. And other than that, they've got a team full of 3rd and 4th place players. If you look at Liverpool, they've got 2 or 3 of the best players in their position, and City have got the similar. And you could argue the best Chelsea teams did, the best Man United teams did. Arsenal don't have a single player that is above anyone else in the league.
Nope, and that's why he's going to the Gareth Southgate School of Managerial Positioning and finishing second.
It's just they will, if they finish second, and it's a big if at the minute because City could have had the worst season ever, still finish above them.
Yes,
it's ironic coming from a Man United fan, I know, but they could finish second. If they finish second, they'll finish second 3 times in a row, which is a record equaled of their own record from about 15 years ago. So the only team to second 3 times is Arsenal, and they're about to do it again. I mean, it's the epitome of coming second, isn't it?
So what we're saying is, in the last 15 years, they've actually not progressed in any way. They've just gone back to where they were.
I mean, technically, Arteta took on a team that won the FA Cup, and the coach winning out of them, if anything. He won the FA Cup 5 months after he took over, and 5 years later, I've still only won that FA Cup, which was of.
But could still win the Champions League. They're not out of it.
They could, and it could be egg on your face. But I asked the question the other day to somebody, because I'd said Arsenal played well against Real Madrid, and I said PSG weren't very good. So are Arsenal not very good, or are PSG better than I give them credit for?
Both.
Or is it? I didn't have both down as an answer.
It's both. I think PSG are now a very good team. Now, they might not have the best players in the world, but they have a very good squad that's very together and playing for each other.
It's quite ironic that Mbappe left PSG to win the Champions League, and he's gone to the.
And then Mbappe's gone to Madrid, and they don't look that good.
Well, I mean,
is he more of a problem than what he's worth?
Well, I had a discussion with someone the other day, because a lot of people's opinion was that Ronaldo and Messi dwindled away, and the next 2 players, although probably around at the same time, were Neymar and Mbappe. Mm-hmm. And I've always said that Neymar and Mbappe are not in the same league as Messi and Ronaldo. People think they are, but they're not.
And there's one very good reason that they definitely can't be. Both Neymar and Mbappe have a bad attitude, in my opinion. Something that Ronaldo and Messi never had.
The only player I've seen since Ronaldo and Messi came on the scene that's got any chance, and is currently probably better than both of them, is Lamine Yamal.
That kid is unbelievable.
He's ridiculous with the football. I'm literally. I mean, I'm. If I had to pick one, I'd be Real Madrid over Barcelona, like I'm Celtic over Rangers. I don't know why, I just am. But I will watch Barcelona play every day of the week, because that guy is worth watching. I would never pick up a TV and watch Mbappe, because he doesn't excite me. I think he's lazy. I think he's arrogant. Neymar never did. You just, I pick Ronaldinho over Neymar every day of the week. And I don't pick Mbappe over anybody. But Lamine Yamal is totally different gravy. I mean, he's definitely worth watching.
He is, and he's an annoyingly talented child. He's 17 years old, and he's doing
is quite scary.
Like
how good he is. I mean, I watched him the other day against Inter, and I mean, Barcelona can't defend like a team of school kids. But yes, I don't think it really matters when you've got that guy up front. Because I mean, all you've got to do is give him the ball. I mean, there were 3 people marking him. Well, there weren't. There were 3 people following him around a pitch. And
it made no difference.
The only ironic thing is that Barcelona defended pretty much the same as they did at the other end, which was ironically crap, which made for quite a good game. But yeah, if you want a successor to Messi or Ronaldo, he's the only one that's ever got a chance of getting close, because Mbappe and Neymar. No. I mean, Mbappe is just a poison chalice now, isn't he?
It's beginning to look that way. He's kind of a football's version of Max Verstappen. He's extremely good, but seems to come with a lot of baggage and a lot of problems.
The only thing with Max is Max has actually gone on and done great things. I'm not sure Mbappe really has. I can't think I've ever watched a tournament or a league or anything where he's just torn it apart. I think of Ronaldo in his 3rd season at United. I think he got 40-odd goals. You think of Messi year on, year out. You think of Ronaldo at Real Madrid. I just don't look at him and think, he's just ripping it up, isn't he? He has moments. He does great things. But can he do it for a full year where is just amazing? And I just don't see it in him.
He always seems one bad pass away from just throwing the teddies out the pram all the time.
He's just a typical wannabe superstar. I mean, he's at the right places at Real Madrid because they love superstars, don't they? But he just don't seem to put any effort in. It's just like, I know I am, and I'll just stand here until somebody passes me the ball. And if you don't pass me the ball, I'll do fuck all. Fantastic. Just what we need.
Yeah.
It's like Real Madrid are playing. I mean, I don't particularly rate Vinicius Junior. I think once again is a very good player. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same again. Can you really have Mbappe and Vinicius Junior in the same team? You're almost playing 9 players, aren't you?
Yeah, we had this discussion the other week, didn't we, though? Because we then also put Bellingham into that same category of the probably carrying
and he's
players.
following them now, isn't he? He's like, I'm a superstar, so I don't need to work hard. So you've got 3 there, so you're down to 8 players already, and that's why they're failing, and they just don't seem to work as a team, and it's almost like they need to play one of them and bench the other 2.
Yeah, I mean, but I suppose completely off the subject of the upper echelons of football, I did quite enjoy watching the end of the championship season yesterday. So we'd got relegation and playoffs.
I knew it was happening, but I believe Leeds have gone up, haven't they?
Leeds rode up on Burnley. Yeah, they won it on goal difference.
They won the league on goal difference.
Yeah, so they both ended on 100 points. No, Sheffield United bottled it. They've had a horrendous end to the season and won 1-2 in 6, I think.
I didn't know this.
Well, yeah, we know it's,
Well, I put the subscription on for watch the championship, and that's how I've ended up watching a lot of Barcelona and Real Madrid, because they ended up on the same subscription. So rather than watch Plymouth versus, I don't know, some other drab team, I've been watching Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that's how I've come across some lazy guy called Mbappe quite a lot, and thought, well, he's not as good as people think he is. I'm going to do a lot. And then you watch Lamine Yamal, and you just think, there's a footballer.
Yeah, so Leeds have gone up with 100 points. Burnley second with 100 points. Leeds won the league by 12 goals. Sheffield United ended up 10 points away from automatic promotion, having been basically top of the league at one point.
So they finished third, didn't they?
Yeah, so they're third, Sunderland fourth, Coventry fifth, Bristol City sixth.
God, Lampard got Coventry in.
Yeah, Frank Lampard's Coventry, as they are now officially known in the UK, are now in the playoffs.
So it's FLC, Frank Lampard's Coventry. Are they renaming it?
Pretty much, yeah.
If they go up to Premier League under Frank Lampard, Jesus Christ.
We are going to look like a pair of idiots that have said that all the ex-professional footballers can't be managers, and they're terrible at it.
Well, that's what is bound to happen then, isn't it? I mean, it was slagged him off. Ron, he'll probably win it by 15 goals to 0 in final.
And then Blackburn missed out on the playoffs by drawing their final game. If they'd have won, they'd have gone up on goal difference. Well, they'd have made the playoffs on goal difference.
Wow.
And at the other end, Cardiff and Plymouth were already relegated, and then Luton have joined them, so they've done a double relegation.
Wow, sacking their manager worked well for them, didn't it?
They've gone down on goal difference.
Can you imagine having a manager that got you out of the Championship and got you out of League One and I don't even think League Two, and then sacking him because you're having a bad time for a few months, and then getting relegated anyway?
Yes, and again.
So it's not gone really well. Not at all.
And in the other just roundabout of football, so Harry Kane was about 30 seconds away from winning his first ever trophy yesterday. Then Bayern Munich conceded in the last minute, and the Bundesliga's continued for another week.
Has he still not won it? Who's keeping it alive then? Dortmund or Leverkusen?
Leverkusen, as always. So yeah, he's injured, came down off the stand to celebrate, and as he walked down onto the touchline to celebrate, the other team scored. Which is just prime Harry Kane.
So he spent 15 years in football and has won absolutely squat.
Might have won the Audi Cup at one point, if I remember rightly. But yeah.
I mean, Arsenal would claim that. They claim the Charity Shield as a
and
trophy.
the Dubai Cup, the Emirates Cup that they play.
Yep, even though they named it and played it in their own stadium.
And probably made up their own rules.
I mean, it's the epitome of picking your own trophy, isn't it? VAR. I know we mentioned it once or twice on here.
Occasionally.
First of all, we discussed this off air because you decided not to turn up last week. Evan Nielsen's red card against Man United last week. You said it wasn't a red card. I said it was a red card. I don't understand how they've overturned it. How can the referee not give it? VAR spend 3.5 minutes reviewing it and then giving it, and then a panel look at it and say it's not a red card. How many people are involved in these processes now? I mean, the referee's refereed the game, and in some people's eyes, he's refereed it correctly because he's not sent him off. 2 idiots in a box have pressed a lot of buttons, drawn a lot of lines, played with some joysticks, and decided he is a red card, and sent a guy over to look at a screen and was then changed his mind. And then some more idiots in another box somewhere else in the world have decided that the original guy was right, and the VAR that they've employed to make these decisions right is wrong, and they're going to overturn it.
Yes.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Surely we do away with the assessing red cards once VAR have assessed it, do we not? Is that not logic?
No, because then Bournemouth have a right to appeal, and upon appeal, it's been rescinded because I'm guessing they've decided that he slipped, which he did. So the tackle wasn't.
Surely we can't. So it just defeats the object of VAR, surely.
Well,
the problem we've got is
try and get the decision right in the 90 minutes, but then
got it wrong.
They got it wrong, and whoever it is have then decided that he couldn't be sent off or shouldn't have been sent off. So we've
understand how two people have reviewed the decision and come to the fact it's a red card, and then two more people have reviewed the decision and decided it's not a red card, and their opinion is more important than the guys who were assessing it at the time. Surely the fact you've employed VAR should say, well, you can't appeal it because it was given by a VAR panel. I mean,
that doesn't, but a VAR panel doesn't mean they won't be wrong, as we've proved many, many, many times.
But that doesn't mean these guys aren't wrong who've now rescinded it, does it? I mean, how far are we going to go down the chain? It's like
eventually it'll come to me and you. We'll be reviewing.
The worst thing about it is, in someone's opinion, the referee was right in the fucking first place. So I'm not saying that it should or shouldn't have been sent off, and I'm not saying it should or shouldn't be rescinded. I just think the process is an absolute fucking car crash, isn't it? Why have we reviewed a process? We've reviewed a decision that we've then reviewed again, and we've come up with 3 different answers. Is this not the epitome of VAR being a failure? The fact that everyone's opinion is different, and that's why VAR doesn't work.
I mean, we just need to go right back to the very start of that one. At the time of the game happening, you said red card, I said not, which basically tells you straight away it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so VAR should have kept out of it.
Yeah, fine. And listen, I don't think he actually slipped. I think he goes over the ball and he falls onto the ball. I don't see a slip, but that's my opinion. And I'm a Man United fan, so I'm going to be biased, aren't I? My opinion shouldn't count. I agree. But a referee's not given it, and a VAR has given it. To me, you can't then go and review it again. That's just stupid. Whether it's right or wrong is fucking irrelevant at this point. You can't review. A guy who's on the pitch has given it, and 2 idiots in the box hasn't given it, and 2 idiots in the box have given it, and then some other geezer's decided to change his mind. I mean, this is the epitome of too many opinions, isn't it? Again, we're just going around in circles. I mean, so if you reviewed it again, 2 other people might say, well, it is a red card. Because 2 people in the first place said it was.
And this is why we've got to stop using VAR for opinionated decisions, because their opinion at the end of the day.
Is he offside or is he not offside? It's a fact, isn't it? It's a
fact. Offside. We have semi-automated offside in the Premier League all of a sudden.
Yeah, we do. Although it seems to be taking a lot longer than it did in any other competition. I mean, the other day we were waiting for fucking ages.
How did that just appear? We did it in the FA Cup in January. It disappeared then for 8 weeks, and then all of a sudden it just appeared, and I'm very confused.
Maybe it's
I don't get it.
Maybe they've trialed it in Egyptian football and they've realised it does work, so they've brought it in. I don't fucking know. I mean, then what happened with the Bournemouth goal? Why did we review that for 95,000 hours for no apparent reason? The handball for Evan Nielsen that wasn't an handball. Evan Nielsen, fucking hell, scored. I mean, in the end, we were watching it on a camera from 1972, reviewing whether it touched his arm or not. The colours were that fit. I mean, the Bournemouth colour kit was this colour on that camera. It was that bad. It was the most pixelated thing in the world. It was like playing Sonic from 1992. And I'm like, is this the best angle we've got? I mean, the first angle they show is from the Bournemouth keeper's sort of view down the pitch. And all you can see is an Arsenal player. You can't even see the Bournemouth player or the ball. I'm like, once again, play it once. Does it hit his arm? Can you say 100% it hits his arm? No. Well, just play on then. Just play on. Yeah. I saw it once, and I'm like, I'm not saying it is or isn't. It touched his arm, but I can't tell. So let's just play on, because it's not clear or obvious, is it? And they've basically said it didn't touch his arm. Did they know for definite it didn't? I don't think they do. I don't think they've got a fucking clue. I think it probably does contact his arm slightly, but you can't tell. Why would we spend 4 minutes reviewing it?
It was only the same, though, in the... I'm going to keep calling it the UEFA Cup because I can never remember what the real name is. Again, with you and Bilbao's now not called Bilbao; they're called Athletic Club for some strange reason.
Yeah, they've changed the name because it's.
The
I've also managed
penalty
to play
against
Deportivo.
Hoyland. I saw it live and said penalty. I saw the replay once and said penalty. 7 minutes later, the referee decided that yes, it probably was a penalty.
But why did he send him off?
Because he has to.
Why?
Because he didn't. There's no attempt to play the ball. Clear goal scoring opportunity and no attempt to play the ball. It's a red card. As soon as it's a penalty, it's a red card. It has to be.
I thought the double jeopardy rule came into this, and you didn't send him off.
If you make a genuine attempt to play the ball, he wouldn't have been sent off. There was no ever attempt to play the ball. All he's done is play the man and make sure he can't get to the ball. So it has to be a red card. They got that one right. It just took about an hour longer than it ever should have done.
I mean, I don't agree with that, I must admit.
Shock horror.
But I don't know. We're back to this: what he meant to do and what did he try to do. And I mean, it's a foul. It's a foul.
Yes.
A foul's a foul. Can we not just punish every foul the same, please? He's fouled him in the box. We either send him off or we give a penalty. It's a penalty. Give me a yellow card and let's not ruin the game for everyone. I mean, Man United need to play against 10 men right now, and usually we do concede a lot of goals against 10 men, but I just don't see how you send him off having give the penalty. I mean, somebody tell me it weren't penalty. I'm like, you can't tackle somebody with your arm and not expect to give a penalty away. I mean, I don't know. Rasmus Højlund didn't score anyway. I mean, let's be honest. He's only 43 centimeters from goal. I got to tap it in. But I didn't get the red card, mate. I just didn't think that were.
It's just letter of the law. It's not a genuine attempt to play the ball. So
Well,
it's a denial of goal.
I'll give him some your knowledge because I have no idea. I just stood there when he sent him off. I couldn't believe it.
I think in the end, that's what the length of the decision was. I think they decided pretty early it's a penalty, and then they were deciding, is it a clear goal scoring opportunity? Does he try to play the ball? It was easy to me.
If that's the law, you can't say tried to play the ball because he used his hand to tackle him. He can't be trying to play the ball, then, can you? I mean, like I say, I wouldn't have sent him off. I think it's a joke. But if that's the law, then it would have took me 4 seconds to make the assessment, not 4.5 minutes again. I mean, luckily, I watch things tape delayed, so I just fast forward VAR now. It's like a safety car. I just fast forward it because I don't even care. I just look for it's like a surprise to me when it comes back on, whether they're scored or whether there's 11 men on pitch or whether, stands collapsed or something crazy like that. It's just mental. Absolutely mental. I hate VAR. It's the worst thing to be introduced into football since Arsene Wenger. It's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. On an important note, Man United are the only team unbeaten in Europe, can I just say?
Chelsea.
Nope.
No, they lost now as well.
Yep, they've lost. Man United are the only team unbeaten in Europe, according to a stat I've seen. And when did Harry Maguire become prime David Beckham?
And hang on, so against Lyon, he became a prime centre forward. But Thursday night,
what was that? I mean, first of all, their left back, if he didn't get absolutely annihilated in training the next day, for not only being beaten by Harry Maguire once, but Harry Maguire went back and beat him again.
And this is a man who has the mobility of Stonehenge.
Managed to beat a left back once and then went back, did him again, and put in a David Beckham-esque cross. I mean, where's this player been? And why have we been playing him? I mean, obviously he's not a centre half. He's obviously a right winger or a striker. We've been using him wrong. I said put Maguire up front.
But I mean, you can't do any worse at this point.
I mean, I just don't know where that came from. I don't think he knew. I'm pretty sure he was trying to get rid of the ball and must have fallen over it twice. But their left back must be the most embarrassed player in the world. I mean, to get done by Harry Maguire twice is...
There's a strong chance he resigns after the second leg and retires from football.
Can you imagine lads on bus on my home? Jesus Christ, they're ripped to shreds. I mean, the red card ruined the tie, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like quite a decent... Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't care, but it looked like quite a decent game in the first sort of 20 minutes or so, and then it all went to shit as soon as they sent him off, really. And they just...
Yeah, I mean, you go into Thursday night now with, as long as you get through the first 20 minutes, you'd probably think it's game over. Don't concede early.
I mean, you just got to keep 11 men on pitch, and make sure you don't do nothing stupid like letting Arna have any touches at ball or... Yeah.
Don't let Harry Maguire be a centre half.
Stick Maguire up front. Stick 2 goalkeepers in. I mean, we've got 4 on bench, so we might as well play 2 of them. And just, Don't do nothing stupid. I mean, all jokes aside, we should go through.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say right now that the Europa League, is it the Europa League? Is that the right thing? Is that what we're playing in? Is possibly the most important game Man United have played in the last 14 years. Because we need the money badly. We need to be able to attract some players in the summer, and Champions League football would help. And we need to get a trophy because things aren't looking great right now, are they? Like Mourinho used to say, one trophy can open the doors to others. But yeah, I think it's the biggest game we've played in a long, long time.
You look at both ties and they're probably both over, in theory.
Yeah, I would say so.
So this leads me to the question of, will this be the worst European final in history?
I mean, who are Chelsea going to play?
Fiorentina, I think, probably.
Too bad. Possibly. I mean, it could turn out to be an absolutely cracking game because it could finish something like 4-4, couldn't it? I mean, you could quite easily see both teams just having a field day at each other.
Chelsea might end up playing Betis, actually. Betis beat Fiorentina 2-1 in the first leg.
Prime, what's his face? Anthony, who's now got 10 goals and assists since he went there, or 12 goals and assists since he
And I
went there.
didn't realise Bodo actually did get a goal late on against Spurs, so that is now 3-1. So that game is
3-1. Spurs will be fine.
Prime. It's primed to be Spursed up, that one, and they'll lose 4-3.
Well, they could do a Spurs, couldn't they? And I think if Bodo Glimt score early, Spurs are in trouble because they've got no bottle, have they? Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Just Man United just got to find a way of winning it, even if we have to cheat. We've just got to win. I don't care. Yeah, just wake up Tottenham players up at 3 a.m. Give them food poisoning. Whatever we've got to do. We've just got to win the game because if not, I just don't know what happens next season when we've finished 17th and we're playing.
My bigger concern with it all is that right there. So you finished potentially 16th, let's say. Spurs are going to finish 15th, 17th, whatever it is.
Spurs are behind us, aren't they?
Both can get in the Champions League. What?
Yeah.
No.
Again, it's qualifying through other means. Once again, I've said this before, the Champions League should be for the champions of the leagues. I mean, it's quite there in the name, and again, it's not clear and obvious.
I mean, we'll have
and let all the riffraff
in
playing another tournament. But if you win your league, you get in the Champions League. I mean, what is the next? How many teams are in it now? 60 something.
36.
I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? There's only about 8 leagues, and we've got 36 teams. I mean, we'll get 8 spots for European football. I think they said for the Premier League.
Because we'll have six in Champions League, because there's 5 from league positions and 1 from U2.
If we go through. No, because we don't get the 5th if we win.
No, we do.
Do we?
I believe so, yeah.
I thought if we won the Europa League, that was our 5th spot.
I don't know. I can't follow it, to be quite honest. It's just too much to deal with.
It's stupid anyway. If you finish 5th, how are you getting in Champions League? I mean, 5th. It's not even, you weren't even competing. I mean, 5th will be about 40 points off top of league. The last thing you were going to be is champion. You're out league title race after 4 games. Stupid. Who's in charge of this competition? Is it Sepp Blatter or is it other one? Platini, not Platini.
Neither, because they're both probably in prison or banned from football for life.
So they should be and all. Some morons.
Yeah, so currently 5th place is 22 points off the top of the Premier League table.
22 points you're going to be in Champions League?
Yes.
Fuck's sake, I don't know. It could be worse. You could be referee from Leicester game. Did you see what happened to him?
I just saw him laying on the floor and Vardy stopped the game.
What's the point in the 4th official, can I ask?
Well, did he not come on and referee the game?
No. We just sat and waited for 15 minutes while the referee... We're 12 minutes out of the time at half-time, and we sat and waited while the referee went and had a head check, whatever you want to call it, concussion check. 4th official just stood and watched. Why didn't he come on and ref the game while we got on with it?
Would have made sense. A lot of sense.
Everyone's just stood watching. And then we played 12 minutes. I mean, why did we not stop the clock? Why are we playing 12 minutes divided time? Just stop the clock.
Well, the referee was laid down. He couldn't stop the clock.
Did not pause his watch before he got knocked out. I mean, Jamie Vardy blew a whistle. Why didn't he stop watch? It was just, I just, when you look at things, you think, I'm not particularly clever, but the 4th official stood there, fully qualified referee, take the whistle, go and as qualified as they can be, Go and ref the game, and if the referee comes back, he'll take over. Just say, right, well, ref, it's half time. There are only 4 or 5 minutes to go, and the referee can come back after half time.
Oh, you can't sub a sub. Oh.
Seems like a pretty logical thing to do, considering you've got a spare. I mean, where better to look for a spare ref than right at the side of the football pitch? I mean, he does nothing, does he? What does he
Holds
do?
up a board occasionally.
I'm sure they could have found someone else to do that, don't they?
Somebody who works in the stadium could have done that.
You know, just want players that are getting paid enough money. Hold that board up. You're getting paid $100 a week. Don't fuck all. Hold that. I just don't get it. Again, it's just, I don't know. I just watch things these days and just think there's more idiots about than normal people, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
40,000 people all sat twiddling the thumbs while the referee goes off for a check on his head, and fourth official stood there talking to players. Fuck me. We're talking to Jamie Vardy. He's leaving, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done it.
I'll ask you. I've got an answer that I can give, but I'll ask you your opinion first. Where does he go? Or where could he go?
I don't think he's a starter at any club now if he tries to stay at the top level. I think he's a squad player at the likes of Burnley, Sheffield United, Leeds at best.
Yeah.
Or he goes to a mid-level championship team to maybe get more game time, i.e., and this is just an example of sort of the level of Blackburn Rovers, but I don't think he's got it in him to lead the line of a team now at 38 years old. I think he's
I totally agree.
a bit part player at best.
I'm going to go a totally different angle with this one.
Oh, God.
You're not really fed into what I were hoping you would. Do Man United have a better striker than Jamie Vardy?
Yes, Harry Maguire.
Well, they were best mates, so maybe they could play up front together, big man, little man, you know, crouching, knowing type thing. They don't.
No.
It's hard to say, but they don't. And I'm not, I know he's 38 years old and he can't play every game, but Jamie Vardy would score more goals. I mean, he scored more goals for Leicester than either of our strikers put together. I've scored, actually. But he would score more goals for Man United next season than Højlund does, maybe. And he would only play half the games. Do Arsenal currently have a better striker than Jamie Vardy?
No.
I don't think they do. I've got
a better question than that, though. Do Arsenal currently have a striker full stop?
Well, they've bought strikers because this is their narrative, isn't it? We haven't bought a striker. Well, they bought they bought Jesus as a striker. Whether they say they did or they didn't, they did. And they bought Havertz as a striker. Unfortunately, both of them are shit. And Jamie Vardy's better than both.
Havertz is not a striker. He never was.
If Newcastle lose Isak, I think he can go there and do something for him. Chelsea have got 95,000 strikers, but none are any good at scoring goals. So I reckon he could at least play a bit part role there. The only two teams I can think he can't play for are Liverpool and Man City. I'll take him at Old Trafford, no trouble. Every day.
If you could get him on sort of 20 grand a week for nothing, it's worth a punt to do your 20 minutes if things are going bad.
He could start 1 in 3 games and he could come off the bench in the other 2 and be at least as good as what we've got, if not better. And I think he's better. That finish today, whenever they played with his left foot, there's no way in hell Rasmus Højlund puts that in the net. It's probably not even in the stadium when he hits it.
It probably falls over and misses it.
So I see where you're coming from, and probably his age does deny that he would go downhill, but I don't know. I just think if you're Arsenal and you're struggling to get a striker, surely he would gobble up some of the chances they create, even if it were just 15, 20 minutes a game.
Well, yeah, I mean, he will do a job for somebody.
Doing.
I just don't see any top club taking that sort of gamble on a man that's 38 years old. He's had his day.
In the past, it has worked for a lot of clubs, hasn't it? I mean, Man United bought Henrik Larsson. He was very old. They bought Michael Owen when he was old. Zlatan Ibrahimovic when he was old. There's another one that won't come to me. We bought in a few older strikers that are literally there just to play probably 40% of the season as impact strikers, and it works. I just think if you're one of them clubs behind Liverpool and City, and let's be honest, City will come back next season and be a force, he's worth even 40, 50 grand a week on a year deal.
Here's my counter to that. You say it's worked by bringing in these older strikers of your Ibrahimovic's, your Larsons, your whoever else. Actually, it hasn't worked because it's then basically left you in a situation that you can only use a striker for sort of a quarter of the games of a season. and you've not then planned for the future, and it's left you in a hole because they aren't going to be there very long, and now you've ended up with Rasmus Højlund.
No, because this happened when we did used to plan. So we always used to have a young striker coming through, and that's why these strikers came in. Right now, what we've got is 2 people who can't play football, and there's no striker in the world and come in and out them two. I mean, they worked with Benny McCarthy, who was a good striker. Yeah, you can't coach into them two anything that you're going to need to for them to be able to play in the Premier League. It's just a matter of time. Well, it's more a matter of somebody buying them than whether it's not a case of we want them gone. It's a case of is anyone actually going to take them off us? It's like Arsenal trying to part with Raheem Sterling, isn't it? I mean, there's nobody buying him off them, is there? He's stuck there now.
He's stuck there until he leaves on a free.
It's, yeah. But yeah, I just think United have got so many people to buy this summer. He would be a gift, really, for us. And would be better than what we've got. I think a couple of other clubs could. I mean, Tottenham is as good as Solanke. I mean, he's a right Carter's him. I mean, he scored a penalty the other day like he were prime Maradona. I'm like, don't get too clever, mate. He scored a goal for about 8 months. Taking penalties.
And that was against Bobo Glint.
Striker. And I'm like, you just want to calm down, just concentrate on eating target, mate. Getting a bit clever there for yourself. Yeah. Just my opinion on the man. I quite like him. I thought he'd do a job in. And I watched his goal yesterday and just thought, yeah, there's no Man United player up front for us scoring that goal, Paul. Not even close.
But in good news, there is only 3 weeks left of the football season, and then we can stop letting it wind us up.
Me a little bit. Man United have got 4 games left. Obviously, we play today. I was flicking down the fixtures to see which fixtures were on at a time I could watch, and there's 1 or 2 actually. And the fixtures were quite short. I was like, is that all that's left?
Yep, you've got pretty much 3 weeks.
I mean, I'm glad because this season can't end fast enough for me. But yeah, I don't know. NFL's not back for a while. Football's about to end. We'll literally just have Formula 1, won't we?
We will. Which luckily is only just in the start, so nowhere near its summer break. So we will be. This sports podcast will be very much a one sport podcast very soon because all the other ones are going to stop for the summer.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a bit odd, isn't it?
We'll have to
What are we going to do on a weekend when there's no Formula 1?
Golf. Snooker.
Wow.
Darts.
Jesus Christ. Little women's football. We'll start watching that.
No.
Steady. You'll have Ian Wright on your case.
But at least in news about women's sport, men can no longer play it in this country. So that's a bonus because we've finally found common sense.
Why was that allowed in the first place?
I don't know.
I mean, again, it's quite simple, isn't it? Are you a man or are you a woman? If you're a man, you play men's football. If you're a woman, you play women's football. If you're not sure, just don't play.
See,
there's not in between league. You got to be one or the other, mate.
That's what the logic we've finally gone down. So there will now be banned.
It's the fact that it's headline news and everyone just went, and that's how it should have been.
Welcome to Common Sense
Logic. By this. This is how it works.
Yes, but the UK sport have now caught on with that and will ban them from cricket and women's football by June.
Cricket? They've been banned from cricket as well. So male footballers can't play women's cricket. Is that what they're saying?
No, male footballers can't play women. Hang on, no. Male cricketers can't play women's cricket.
Oh, but they can play women's football.
No, nobody can play women's football.
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, the fact that they're classing women's football as a sport is a joke.
Stop it.
That's a story for another day.
We'll move on before somebody says something that we shouldn't.
Dissect what's happened this weekend in Formula 1 because I'm a little bit all over the place. Before you do that, I quite clearly and categorically picked Miami Dolphins, and I'm wearing the colours today, because the weather is always sunny. What the fuck happened when I put the race on this morning, having not known the result, to find out it was like prime Sheffield? Where the hell did that come from?
Florida, as you approach this time of year, will get more wet. The summer is hot, but the summer can be quite stormy on occasion. And yesterday was one of those days, and potentially tonight / tomorrow / this afternoon for America will be the same, potentially.
Yeah, the race could range. So I've said this before, you'll have the answer to it. We started the sprint race behind the safety car.
Yes.
Charles Leclerc, when did he crash? I didn't
He
see when he
crashed.
crashed.
No, he
On the way to the
crashed
grid.
on the way to the grid. So before we did any real racing.
Can you answer why? How do you crash driving to the grid?
Partially Ferrari's fault. They once again were involved in picking the tyres. It was a river, and they put him on intermediates to drive to the grid.
Well, this is my next point. So the race starts, and everyone's on intermediates behind the safety car. They then stop the race because it's too wet, but they don't put the full wet tyre on.
Yes.
So when do we use the full wet tyre?
Never.
So is this just some sort of comedy tyre that we carry around? Obviously, we're being economical. We're not, using energy we don't need to use. We're flying to all the local races now. We're just carrying 40,000 wet tyres around for no fucking reason. Surely,
yes, because they don't work.
Mandate they put the wet tyre on before we cancel the race.
Can't because they don't work.
Right. Well, this is the pinnacle of motorsport, isn't it? Who designed them?
The wet tyre is a terrible construct. It doesn't get any heat in it. It doesn't have any grip, and it's too firm. So basically, you end up just on ice. So unless we can get a better wet tyre, we will never have another wet race, as in full wet, ever. Because the spray is too bad because of the ground effect car, so you can't see. Obviously, with it being a street track, it made it worse because the spray doesn't dissipate anywhere. It stays within the walls. And I was actually surprised it ever got going. Obviously, it does dry out quite quickly because of the heat in Miami, but I fully expected them just to red flag the whole thing and go, we're not doing it because it's a bit damp. But at least we got a race out of it.
So wet tyres aren't a thing, actually. They're just there because they have to be.
Pretty much, yeah. Because they're no good to anybody.
All right. Well, that's cleared that up for me then. I won't ask that. I was sat screaming at my telly. What the fuck are you going to put wet tyres on? What's the point of wet tyres? And obviously, that's the point.
Yeah, they are a more useless invention than Tottenham Hotspur's trophy cabinet.
Or Arsenal's. My other key point from the weekend was Racing Bulls have designed yet again another nice looking car.
Mm-hmm.
Who designed the Ferrari?
Horrible, isn't it? It's awful.
Who decided that the best thing to go with Ferrari red was a blue and white massive banner across the back?
It's just awful.
I mean, I understand HP must have a colour scheme, right? But surely making it colours that went with red would make it a lot more attractable. I mean, I wouldn't buy a HP product just because they stuck that sticker on a car. I mean, that's horrendous. It's offensive to me. That's got to be the worst Formula One car I've ever seen.
But the flip side of that, HP has a secondary logo that is black and white. Use that one. It fits the car.
I mean, that's got to be the ugliest Formula One car I've ever come across.
It's just vile.
I mean, even that kick thing looked nice. The blackness paint splatter on it in green and black, and that looked decent. I mean, who the fuck's put that on and gone, oh, that's a special livery for race? Oh, fucking hell, yeah. They'll be well happy with that. I bet guy from HP saw that come out and thought, fucking hell, we'll I set to clowns here, don't we? Looks like a child's done it.
Just horrible.
I mean, they've done the wing as well. Is it the front wing or the back wing they've done below?
Both, I think.
I just don't understand who's looked at that and gone, well, that's a great livery. That's really going to promote HP to everybody. Everyone's going to want to buy that, aren't they? I mean,
but it has caused this because people are talking about it. And if that's what they're looking for, then it's worked.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose there's no bad publicity, is there? But fuck me, there's some bad-looking Ferraris going about. I mean, if I were Lewis Hamilton, I'd just refuse to drive it. Fuck me.
It basically did.
I mean, it's a shit car anyway, but I mean, the livery is worse than the actual design of the car, isn't it?
I'm speaking of you've brought up Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to say something quite bold now. He should retire. He's done.
Oh wow, we're only 4th of May.
Call it a day.
I mean, is he not in front of Leclerc?
No.
Oh, he's not.
Just stop.
Well, it's a bold
It's not
claim.
there anymore. You're not at the pinnacle of motorsport anymore. There's far too many better drivers than you out there.
Yeah. I think the dream of his 8th title in a Ferrari is
now turning into a nightmare.
Yeah, there's more chance of Man United winning the Premier League this season than not Lewis Hamilton ever winning an 8th title. I think right now, isn't
it? It will never. It will
Even
never
in
do
the
it. Now.
fastest car, I don't think he'd.
No, because if the Ferrari is the faster car, Charles Leclerc is now a better driver. I'm not saying he's better than Lewis Hamilton's
Quite
ever
a claim,
been.
having just crashed while warming up, but yeah.
Yeah, but Lewis Hamilton once crashed into a Ferrari stationary in a pit lane, so they can all do these things. I just think.
I mean, it'd be sad for him to go out like that. I mean, to be fair to Lewis, if Ferrari are paying you 100 million a year, are you really going to walk away? You're not, are you? I know he doesn't need the money, but nobody needs the money when they're in these sports. But you're not going to say, sorry, I'll leave tomorrow.
No, he'll run this year probably, and he'll do his contract next year because it's the first year of the new regulations to see how it goes. But I think he's in danger of just becoming the next Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, hanging around Valtteri Bottas, just doing it for the sake of it, just because it's fun or it's something to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Bottas might be back according to that. Is it Cadillac Man? He was talking very nice about him, wasn't he?
Yeah, and there's also rumours that Perez or Guan Yu Zhou will return in that car as well, which I just think if you're a new team,
yesterday as a guest of theirs, didn't they?
I just think you've got to have bigger aspirations than Guan Yu Zhou and Perez.
Canal. Will not finish a race.
It just all seems a bit nah. But yeah, then we'll go into today, having seen Max Verstappen and the Red Bull look once again. It's ominous for McLaren now that Red Bull is
coming back.
It's nearly on par now, I think. Or a Red Bull in the hands of Max Verstappen is on par. A Red Bull in the hands of Yuki Tsunoda is about 3/4 of a second off. But
so to clear a few things up, he finished last yesterday because he got a penalty for being released out of the pits. Is that right? Into Kimi Antonelli.
Yes.
But he didn't get a penalty for clearly starting 45,000 feet north of his grid spot.
Yeah, I've only seen one image of that, which was live during the race, and my initial reaction was, yes, he was out of his box, but I've not seen it again to actually know for definite where he was and where he wasn't.
I don't very often agree with Martin Brundle, but like he did say, if that's not a penalty, then why doesn't everyone just start there?
True.
I mean, he was way past the yellow line. I don't even know the regulation, but I looked at the still of Lando Norris online, and I mean, I can't measure the distances, but to the naked eye, it's exactly the same. And Lando Norris got a penalty. And I'm not defending Lando Norris because I think he's a wet farce at the minute and he doesn't deserve defending. But
I thought that on viewing it, but the yellow line, FYI, is only a guide for the driver. It is the white actual box that matters. So as long as he's got part of his tyre touching the white line, he's fine. The yellow line is just for the driver so they can see where they're parking.
Fantastic. So another thing I didn't know.
Yes, the yellow line is just so you can see where you're going as a driver because you can't see the bottom of your front tyres because you're sat on the floor.
All right, well, I'll bow to the FIA's better knowledge. You must have had a camera angle I didn't. Like
but yeah, Lando Norris has just looked his way into another victory at Miami, which is the same as he did last year because he's not winning that race at all.
No, didn't even try.
I mean, he got behind Oscar and was closer and was pushing him along. But yeah, it's just lucky. And again, then in qualifying, he's ended up second this time at least. But does he have the bottle to take it to Max into turn one? Probably not.
Well, he bottled it on the last corner of qualifying, didn't he, by mounting the curve and making a total cock-up, really.
Yeah, I mean, he only ended up 600ths of a second behind and he's lost a good 10.
That's what annoys me about him. It's every week we're making an excuse for him for not being where he should have been. And like we said at the start, if he's not clear of Max by a certain point, he's going to come good and start taking these wins. And McLaren are going to be fighting a losing battle because they're taking points off each other because one wins one week, one wins the other. And Max will just win every race once he starts coming, once the Red Bull's the fastest car. So I'm not really sure what they're playing at, to be fair. Lando, every time I see Lando, I just feel disappointed. Like I said, if it were my son, I'd be saying something to him. You're letting me down, lad.
Yeah, and I've seen quite a lot of the media recently that's defending his mentality, defending the way he goes about things. And I get you don't have to be an out and out dick to be good in sport, but he's too far the other way, for
No,
my
you don't.
opinion. He's too soft. He's too,
You don't have to be the nice guy neither, do you?
yeah,
It's about there's always a happy medium. I mean, I don't think, Lewis Hamilton's never been an out and out knobhead, but he's had a winning mentality. I don't think Sebastian Vettel was particularly, no, he was German, so I don't like him, but he was never particularly rude or arrogant. He was just the way he was, but he had a winning mentality when he had the chance. Lando Norris just seems, I mean, that interview, I don't know, they were talking about what you're going to do to beat Max and Oscar. So I'm just going to be me. And I thought, well, that's the last thing you need to be doing, mate, because that's not working. It's just not working, is it? I thought we were going to come into this season with like a renewed vigor and we're going to see, Lando 2.0. And it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be picking it up, does it?
no. And unless there's some sort of significant change in his mentality or way of working or way of racing quickly, it's not
If it
going to.
didn't come over the summer, is it really going to come now? Because it seems to me once he gets behind Max will be Max, won't he? The car will be 15 times wider. He'll drive into if he has to. And I just think Lando will just fold like a paper bag. I mean, the only hope we've got for Max not winning it is that Oscar gets into a fight with him. And you've got a chance then that he might actually stick it to him a little bit. Lando probably ends up benefiting from that. But just don't see Lando. I mean, the most exciting thing Lando did was throw some tools out of his car.
I mean, I said it from the start of the season that Max was the favourite to win the title still, even though his car wasn't the quickest, and I stand by that completely. I think come the middle of the season, when the upgrades stop happening as we all move on to 2026, we're now in a position where those cars are so close in terms of performance that Max will win it based on his own ability.
Yeah, I mean, he's like
Lando and Oscar need a 3/10 gap in car performance to be outperforming Max, and they don't have that now. They've got, say, yes, Lando's messed up the final corner. Yes, if he doesn't, it's a 10th at most. That's all they've got on out now, one lap pace, and that's not enough to beat Max. If it was a 10th of a second prime Lewis Hamilton, that's enough for Lewis Hamilton to beat Max Verstappen.
Yeah, because we said this. Oh, I said this. I don't know if you agreed or not, but the best drivers just find that 10th on that last run in qualifying. How many times have we watched Lewis Hamilton and just sat there and go, wow, what a lap, last lap. That was Lando there, wasn't it? He's there. Can he pull that lap out of the bag and stick that on pole? And he doesn't.
No.
And you're just thinking that was his time to shine, wasn't it? Go and put 2 tenths between him and Max. Just put a rocket to Max. Think, right, I'm here. I'm faster than you. I'm going to beat you. And he goes and messes up the last corner, and you're just thinking that was your chance, because Max didn't have a particularly great lap. He didn't, and you're just thinking, you're just not done it, have you? And again, I hit the wall in turn 16. He just keeps doing things where you just think, come on, lad, get your head in the game. I know mistakes happen and they're on the pinnacle. They're on their edge all the time, aren't they? But he just, every weekend, he seems to do something stupid. It's just not once in a blue moon. It's every week.
Yeah, I said this at the start of the season when he'd done something daft, and I said if these things become the norm, he has an issue, and they're becoming the norm very quickly.
Second race, was it? Was it China? And he did something. It has become the norm, hasn't it? Right now, he's gone into an era of every session there's a mistake, whether it clips a wall, whether he just cocks a lap up so he's behind. His first run's not good enough. Since the first race of the season, I haven't seen him come into a weekend and just be on it. Nail every session.
Every weekend, at some point, there has been an issue. Be it either in qualifying, a sprint, or the race. There's been something go wrong every weekend. And until he has a clean weekend, it just seems it's starting to snowball. Yeah, the error last night isn't a massive error. It's a small error, but you're in a sport now where a 10th of a second can drop you 2 or 3 positions if you're not careful. So, and if you can't stop them,
especially if the weather's like it is, being out front is massive.
Yes.
We're talking about going into the first corner first with a clear track, no spray. It changes totally changes your race, doesn't it? You can manage the pace. The chances of people overtaking is diminished. There'll be no DRS early on because it's a wet race. If it rains as bad as I think, it's almost like Monaco, isn't it? It's like if it does rain tomorrow, tonight, today, whatever fucking day it's on, it's game changing to be first over being second or third.
Yeah.
And they must have known the situation. I know, right? You qualify like you qualify, but knowing that the weather's like it is, how important that pole position could be. And at the big moment, it doesn't do it.
No, and at the big moment, once again, there's only one man that has done it, and that's Max, and that's the man that just keeps doing it.
And that's the difference between them. That's the difference between most of them, I think, at the moment. There's like I said to you the other week, I'm struggling to pick many of them that have got the mentality to go at it and be at it week in, week out and challenge somebody. Unless
without Max, you've got a championship of basically, like I think you said a couple of weeks ago,
90%.
Who would actually win it because they're all just going to keep making mistakes.
The next 4 or 5 drivers are 9 out of 10, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just, and that's great, the top of the sport. But if you're serious, if you're Lando and you're going to talk about winning the title, sorry, mate, you're nowhere near. Not even close. Because even in the fastest car, Piastri looks better than him. If the 2 cars are lined up side by side, I still stand by that Piastri. If them 2 cars were identical over the season, they were the front 2, I think Piastri beats him. And Piastri's only been there 18 months, not even 18 months, has he? He's only done 1 year and 4 races. So, what?
Into his 3rd season now.
Oh, is he? I thought it was 2nd season.
No, right, into his 3rd season.
But no, your point is Lando.
Your point is still completely valid. I think that obviously the more races Oscar does, Lando's experience factor diminishes because they're both just getting experience at that point, and it then just becomes a sort of level out. And I think the ceiling of driver right now, Oscar has a higher ceiling because he's more ballsy, he's more aggressive. It'll go for things that other people won't, and he's kind of just got that next edge that Lando at the minute doesn't have.
If they're like a FIFA card and you give him a potential number, Oscar's not reached his potential. I think Lando's pretty much there at the minute. I don't think he hasn't got another level to go to right now.
No, I don't think he has.
Still got some gears to go up. He's still got numbers to put in his potential. I think Lando's at his level. And I think right now, there is no better than this Lando at the minute. And I don't see where he gets it from. If he can't go away over the summer and come back a renewed character, I don't know how he suddenly brings it today or next week or whenever the next race is. I just don't see it materializing. He's not a kid anymore, is he? He's not Kimi Antonelli. He's not, he's not a rookie anymore. He's done 5-6 seasons at McLaren.
Oh, yeah, maybe even 7 now.
He's not a 19-year-old anymore. He's coming into his prime years, and I think he's pretty much right now at his ceiling.
Yeah, there is a possibility that that's true. Oh, the bit that's weird with Lando is though his ceiling is very high, he just doesn't stick to it very often. There's too many mistakes. I mean, his ability as a driver, he's right up there, but he never hits the heights as often as he should. There's always mistakes. I've hit a wall. This has gone wrong. That's gone wrong. There's too many peaks and troughs with his performances. It's not stable enough as a performance right now. And he's got to find a way to level it out, even if it's a 10th slower but leveled out permanently. That's better than this. I'll go and win Singapore by 30 seconds, and then I'll stick it in a wall in qualifying. It's too, you don't need this. You need something that's a bit more stable of a platform to think you've got something to build on. Because right now, he's building on sand. Occasionally, he gets a solid bit and he builds something, and then the other bit just crumbles. So he's got to find a way to get this under control before what could be. I mean, we don't know what's happening in 26. This might be his one and only season where he's in a car that can win a championship.
It could be his only time because that McLaren could be a bag of spanners again. It's been a bag of spanners the last 15 years. It could be back to being crap again, couldn't it? You don't know. Any team could come out next season, Jensen Button style, and have a championship winning car.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. it sounds negative already, but you feel like unless McLaren can provide the best car, his moment's gone. And like I say, if they do provide the best car, I just don't think he beats Oscar right now. So I don't know what he does. If he's got the best car, I think Oscar wins, and if he hasn't got the best car, I think Max wins. So yeah, and it's a shame because, like we said, we've got a Brit in the McLaren, we've got a Brit in the Mercedes, and we've got a Brit in the Ferrari, and none of them are any good. I mean, George is doing well.
George Russell's driving very well. No, I have to disagree. George Russell's doing fantastically well right now.
He's not going to win a title, is he? From there, that Mercedes.
But another year away from the track. Miami now has a 17-year contract, so we are going to a Floridian car park forever.
Is the FIA owned by the same guy that owns Chelsea? Why? What happened to just normal contracts where we'll sign you for the next 3 seasons and we'll review it in 12 months? I mean, why have we gave him 2040 or 2041?
Yeah.
I'll be dead by then. I'll never see it last race in Miami.
And I wouldn't mind if it was a good track. It's not. It's awful. No. It's dull.
No, we're having a go. It's my team. It's my ground. It's a spectacle.
Yes. That's fine. It's a ground to play football on, and you're driving around the bits that people park on and have barbecues on. And then they've stuck a chicane in the middle of it that's uphill and doesn't work.
You're diminishing the sport.
Diminishing the Americans' ability to build a racetrack in a car park.
I just don't know why we can't go back to normal tracks that have gravel and sand either side, and just normal racing tracks like Portimao and places like that. They were good tracks to race at.
Funnily enough, America is quite a big country, and there's a lot of racetracks that already exist there.
I can imagine, but it's just a money thing. It's just a publicity money thing, isn't it? But yeah, all the best tracks have pretty much diminished now. We've just got all these tosh street track like Las Vegas, so they have to resurface it every time we go there and stick things down. And because they got a big globe in middle, what do you do?
Yep, and then next year we're going to go to an industrial state in Madrid.
Oh,
hey. Yep. So there's the Madrid street track is now a thing. We're going there.
Yeah. Which race is this replacing?
It will eventually probably replace Catalonia in Barcelona.
When you say eventually, how many races is there going to be next season?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't understand.
How many is there this season? 22?
24. There'll be 24 next year, so something will drop off to get Madrid on, and I can't remember which one it is, if I'm completely honest.
Can it be one of these street? Can it be Monaco? Because that's rubbish.
No, that's got a long-term contract now as well.
Can it be Saudi Arabia? Because that was rubbish.
No, that's got a long-term contract. Everything's got long-term contracts now. Most of the tracks are tied up for it.
It's going to be an old-school track in it that's like actually where the racing is quite decent. They've got gravel traps, so when you crash, you go into gravel traps and stuff like that. Stuff that's exciting for people, except for Lance Stroll, who drives into them on purpose.
But yeah, it's the way we're going, unfortunately.
Nice.
So after another upbeat hour of us discussing sports, we've done it again. We've slagged off VAR, because we always do. We've slagged off the FIA. We've slagged off wet tyres. Slagged off the Premier League. We've slagged off Arsenal. We've slagged off Europe.
Yep.
We've slagged off men playing women's sports. And I think for the
covered every point. Is there anyone we've not upset? If we've not upset you, please write in and tell us. We'll
if you'd like us to upset you, we're more than willing to upset anybody. I honestly don't know. I won't lie. My brain isn't working.
Being a Formula One guru and not knowing the answers of my questions.
I'm a Formula One guru. I'm not an encyclopedia of calendars, because that's just not a thing in my world.
I'm just concerned.
No, it's the 18th of May. So there isn't one next week. So we have a 2-week break.
Right. So, and then that'll pretty much be the end of the season that week, won't it? No, there'll be one more week left.
Somewhere around there, yeah, end of May.
For a year. Oh dear, sports diminishing quickly.
Well, it means that means we'll have less to complain about, because that's all we do.
Kind of going to write us off as a podcast, though, with nothing to complain about.
No, we'll actually have to find things to be positive about, which will mean we'll have to do.
I'm not doing that. I'd rather shut show down. I don't do being positive.
But once again, thank you all very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to two grumpy old men talk about sport. and we will be back with you again soon. Maybe if we can be bothered to turn up
Next week, let's do it.